What have you made of what your quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, has done so far this season?
Well, I appreciate being with you guys this morning. Yeah, what we've seen is what we've seen in practice for the last 2 years since we've been here. We were in a unique situation where in the off season, the last 2 years, he's getting every rep. And so now when his time came to step into the spotlight, you talking about a guy who was ready to go, ready to handle the pressure moments. And he's got the inner fortitude, that kind of character that it's been evident even in just 3 games that when there's the most pressure, he seems the most calm and you feel comfortable putting the game in his hands.
Frank, I think what's been interesting is while we've seen a ton of Brissett, even a couple of years ago starting, but running this offense even in the offseason and obviously into the regular season, there was still part of it where I'm sure he still felt like the backup quarterback while Andrew Luck was there. Andrew Luck retires and Jacoby Brissett is the starter. When in your mind did Jacoby Brissett become the leader of that team, now knowing he wasn't just considered the backup anymore, it was his team?
Well, there's no doubt. Even while Andrew, we had the great benefit of having 2 elite leaders in the building when Andrew was here and Jacoby. Anyone would have told you, even when Andrew was here, if you said who are some of the leaders on this team, everyone's going to say Andrew Luck. But Jacoby Brissett is also going to get mentioned in that sentence. He already has those natural leadership abilities. So when Andrew stepped down and decided to retire, there was an instantaneous effect that everyone gravitated towards Jacoby. Now, there's also not only the instantaneous leadership that I think and credibility that he had, but now he's going out and he's earning it, and he's established it even more game to game.
Talking to Frank Reich, the Indianapolis Colts head coach, with us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. As a player, you guys got him right before the season when he was pressed into action in 2017, and now he's had so much time to digest going into it as a full-time starter. As a player, what's the biggest area of growth you've seen from him since you guys got a hold of him?
2 areas, I think. One, just as far as quarterback play itself, his accuracy. He's really worked hard on fundamentals and technique of throwing the football and the footwork and the upper body mechanics and every aspect of throwing, and he tirelessly works at that, and he's gotten better, and the accuracy is what it needs to be a starting top 10 quarterback in this league. And then I think secondly is what it's more just shown itself, and if you look back to 2017, the other area is just situational football. You got to be a master, at situational football. And, it's still early, and we're only 3 games in it, but he's really showing a high aptitude and productivity in situational football, red zone, third down, and that stuff.
Absolutely. That's what you pay your quarterback to win, third down, 2-minute drill, and inside the red zone is Frank Reich is with us as you guys are getting set for a game against the Raiders on Sunday, trying to go to 3-1 on the season. Obviously, Brissett is there because of the surprise retirement of Andrew Luck. How much headway did you guys know that he was thinking about this? Because we always say in the NFL, you got to prepare for the unexpected. Just how unexpected was this for you guys?
Yeah, it was very unexpected, but that's life in the NFL. And, you got to embrace it. And, we have great respect for every individual on his team and great care. And, when Andrew made the decision that he made, as heartbreaking as it was for all of us, just because of the respect that we have for him as a person and a player, the harsh reality of this business is you move on very quickly. And that's what our team was able to do. And I think in large part because of the maturity in our locker room, the leadership of our guys, and then knowing that Jacoby was going to be the guy to step up.
Talking to Frank Reich, head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. You have another player on your roster that's walking into the Hall of Fame when he's done, and that's your kicker, Adam Vinatieri, who a couple of weeks ago, we were kind of, when he said, I'll talk to you guys on Monday or Tuesday, there were some of us in the media that thought, is this guy going to retire? Does he feel he's hurting the team by missing these kicks? He obviously didn't, made all 5 of his kicks this past week. What was the conversation with Adam after that struggle a couple of weeks ago?
Really the conversation was, obviously only Adam knows what he was thinking when he said, I'm just having been through a player and been through rough spurts, sometimes you just need some space. And so you say something to kind of give yourself some space and to be able to regroup. But the conversation internally here was nothing but, hey, belief and trust, and let's just go to work, and we trust you. Let's just get ready to go and have a good week.
Talking to Frank Reich with us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Coach, a lot of your team's resurgence in the last couple of years when Andrew had such a great year last year was behind that absolute wall of beef that is your offensive line. And selfishly familiar with one of the guys that was there, but I'm curious. Quenton Nelson seemed to be part of that, cornerstone going into that season. When did you know he was just built different?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody who evaluated Quenton when he was at Notre Dame knew that this guy was a unique player. I just give Chris Ballard a lot of credit. When Chris picked him with the 6th pick of the draft, that was, we forget this now, but that was big news because guards don't get taken at the 6th pick of the draft. But Chris did a great job of in a sense, taking a risk, going a guard at 6th pick, and Quenton is just that kind of unique leader and player.
In watching him, and I wonder, Frank, you and I played in the same era. We both came in the league in '85, and I know the guy I compare Quenton to is Steve Wisniewski, Stefan's father, who played all those years with the Raiders, kind of that aggressive, play with an attitude type of guy. And I know the game,
the echo of the whistle,
and I know the practice is a little bit different today in training camps, but. Is Quenton that guy in practice too? Getting in scrapped? Is that still going on now, and from how it was back in the day a little bit?
Well, no, there's no question that he has an edge all the time. And that's really what, I think a big part of the difference he's making. We talk about that a lot, that we have to have, if we're going to play on Sunday with an edge, we got to have an edge every day in practice. We got to have an edge in meetings. We got to have an edge about everything that we do. And that's what carries over to Sunday. And, that doesn't just come naturally. But when you got a guy like Quenton, he's a catalyst for something like that. And, thankfully we got a lot of players who have that edge, but Quenton is certainly a leader amongst them.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.